The chorus of voices come and go like the ebb and flow of the water. It's close before suddenly becoming distant as it gradually fades into the depths of a murky consciousness. When I wake again, I find myself lying by the riverside. My sleeves are soaked with cold water. Was I unable to remember anything before? As an outsider, my memories slowly fade away just like the revenants. Wait, Xavier! I freeze before I sit up and look around frantically. Xavier? No one answers. I stand and start my search. I soon spot a familiar figure in a nearby field of flowers. Xavier! I steady my breathing and stand in front of him. Seems as though he hasn't noticed me. Seemingly in a deep slumber, he lies quietly amongst the flowers. Thin wisps of black mist are wrapped around his body. It's as if the resentment of countless revenants is corroding him. His breathing is stable, his chest rises and falls with every breath. He's not injured. Is he actually sleeping? A weight is lifted from my chest. I crouch down beside him and poke the back of his hand. No response. He's always been a light sleeper. He'd sense my presence as soon as I took a step in his direction before. But he seems to have fallen into a defenseless slumber this time. I can't help but lean toward him, to the point where I only need to look down to see his long, soft eyelashes. You're always stern when you're awake. I'll admit you look cute when you're sleeping. The person you like. The one you want to give flowers to. Wouldn't she want to see you smile? I touch the corner of his mouth and imagine what he might look like with a grin. Without realizing it, I start smiling. Did you say my name or was I imagining it? Xavier, who exactly are you? Deciding to set aside these unanswerable questions, I lie down beside him and touch his hair. The strands are entwined around my fingers and I begin tying knots one by one for him. Next time you give me a cold look, I'll just think of how you're letting me mess with you right now. As if hearing my words, his brow furrows slightly. Keep sleeping if you're tired. He suddenly opens his eyes. I loosen my grip. The half-braided strands of hair escape from my hand. You. Our gazes meet in the darkness. He doesn't speak, instead opting to stare at me for a long, long time. It lasts for so long that a question appears in my mind. Is he trying to confirm something, or is he waiting for something?
You're here.
Yeah, and?
I had an incredibly long dream. I followed my teacher into battle. And then I journeyed through the starry sea. When I returned, you were gone.
His voice is soft and hoarse. It still carries traces of that dreamlike days.
So much happened during those 300 years in your absence. I don't even know where to begin. I doubt you want to hear those boring details. Do you remember our little planet? I told you about it before. The wavy leaf sea lavenders grow better there. I brought back some seeds and hoped I could grow them for you.
So the name of that flower is wavy leaf sea lavender. My hand trembles and I feel a sharp pain. The brooch on his chest has pricked my fingertip.
Back then, it was just like this. I thought my intentions were clear. Why didn't you understand them? Maybe I'm the one who's foolish. I should have been more direct from the beginning.
He gently holds my fingers and carefully wipes away the drop of blood.
When we last saw each other, you said you had feelings for someone. It doesn't matter to me yet. Why wasn't that person by your side when you were in danger? Forget him.
His persistent gaze stays on me for a long time. I can only nod in response. I don't like him anymore. But I like you. Is that alright? As those words hang in the air, everything suddenly falls silent. Even the wind stops blowing. The night is still and the flower field is silent. Only the distant waters of the river laps against the shore. Neither of us moves, and I'm trying to think of words that could break the tension. Then he shifts closer to me. Hey! His cool fingertips press against my jawline, and our breasts intertwine. I attempt to create some distance between us.
What's wrong? Am I not allowed to kiss you here?
Oh, you can do that. I'm not gonna object. Oh jeez, okay. He lowers his head, his expression indiscernible. All I can feel is his cool breath against my eyelashes.
Oh, of course. Why would you want to see me like this?
The hand at my nape suddenly tightens its grip and he lowers his head. Again, instead of retreating, he stubbornly kisses me. Ah! There was a sound effect in there. I was not expecting that. Wow. Woohoo. Anyway, it feels like I'm trapped in a thick, viscous dream. I'm unable to wake up and unwilling to try. The warmth and pressure from his hand seep into my skin. They carry an infection that borders on obsession.
This is my dream. I'm free to do as I please. You're a figment of my imagination, aren't you?
Oh my god. I was not expecting that. As our lips touch, I catch a glimpse of the lumen flora gently swaying. The wind has begun to stir again. Okay, are we on Love in Deep Space or are we on Quim? What is happening? The ceremony ended, and those pilgrims were never seen again. The elders in the monastery declared the ritual a success. It was an auspicious sign since the Chosen One appeared. The revenants celebrated every night. The city was filled with statues of the Chosen One in all sizes overnight. There was also the tree bark touched by the Chosen One, the tiles the Chosen One stepped on, even the stone the Chosen One supposedly hit her head on after tripping over a branch during her arrival. They were all treated as a sacred gift. The revenants competed with one another to preserve these treasures.
Your baubles are nothing. My hand was touched by the Chosen One herself.
Upon hearing this, the revenants surround him and let out gasps of envious admiration.
You have been blessed. Excellent! We'll chop off your hand and mount it on the city wall, so every passerby can shake it. You want to cut off the hand that the Chosen One touched? Don't be afraid, we're incapable of feeling pain. Or is your heart not sincere enough? I shall accept any sacrifice if it means I can be a pilgrim.
After I attended this pilgrimage ceremony, I realized that as an outsider, my memories will slowly fade away too. If I can't return to Philos, I'll eventually just be like those revenants. Yet where did those pilgrims go? Acolytes from the Order of Babel always avoid the question. Does the end of the river truly lead to the tree of life that's mentioned in the prophecy?
Your solution is to follow in their footsteps. You'll see where the supposed sacred path of pilgrimage takes you.
They say the river doesn't end. If that's the case, then what happened to those pilgrims? They didn't die, but they didn't live either. No one has seen them since. The river silently flows as our ferry glides across the mirror-like black water. A thin mist surrounds us. Come to think of it, if we're measuring how close someone is to the Chosen One, you should have been chosen for the ceremony.
I'm honored.
You ate meals cooked by the Chosen One, held the Chosen One's hands, and even embraced the Chosen One. And these eyes were blessed by the Chosen One's presence.
Should I pluck out my eyelashes for you to count too?
These lips have also kissed. Remembering what happened that day, I swallow my words.
You don't want to continue?
You actually don't remember anything? He responds with an expressionless look, then he turns away. His voice is unexpectedly tinged with a hint of resentment.
You're the one who doesn't remember anything.
Not wanting to argue, I focus on what's more pressing at the moment. I need to figure out what happened to those revenants. If anything that crosses the waters of the cinders sinks, perhaps the path they sought is there.
How did you get this boat? Or rather, how did you convince someone who doesn't accept credit to lend you this boat?
It's a long story. After boarding the ferry numerous times, I gradually became acquainted with the ferryman of Cinders. Occasionally, when he wanted to rest uninterrupted, I would volunteer to take over. He didn't agree to it at first, and always refused with a cold expression. But as time passed, he eventually let me handle it. When I encountered the revenants who wanted to cross the river despite lacking coins, I didn't turn them away. I asked them to tell stories as a form of payment. When he discovered this, he always turned a blind eye. As for his background and why he serves as the ferryman for this river, I've asked him out of curiosity before, but he always refuses to talk about it. You know each other?
You can say we're old acquaintances.
Sounds like they're old acquaintances from Philos. So we gradually sail away from the city. We can see the desolate forest to the west is burning. Acrid grey smoke rises skyward. More revenant knights have been gathering at the edge of the forest, and the strife is becoming more prevalent. Consumed by resentment, they fight each other with the hatred from when they were alive. Their screams echo amongst the dead branches and fallen leaves. As the bishop foretold, signs of the apocalypse are once again emerging from the ruined city walls.
I was unaware you were skilled at ferrying.
After the bow hits a submerged shoal and spins around several times, he can't bear to watch anymore. He takes the oar from my hands. I lose track of time. Black clouds gradually cover the full moon, and the scenery around us grows increasingly dark and desolate. Something's not right. The boat creaks and the river's current becomes turbulent. Startled, ravens fly in all directions. A chill creeps up from the water's surface and latches onto my skin. After passing through a dense fog, the river widens. It's as if we've arrived at a boundless sea. Where are we? The waters thrash violently like an untamed beast. The looming threat of danger is palpable.
I don't want this. I don't want to be trapped here. Join me. Become part of these dead waters.
These voices, where are they coming from?
Wait, don't fall in.
Under the water's surface, countless invisible hands seem to reach up. Hatred pushes them to maliciously toss our boat back and forth. I grip the edge of the boat with all the strength I can muster. Pain pulsates through my chest without warning. My vision blurs. It's as though invisible hands are squeezing my heart. The inky black water transforms into countless golden veins. I could almost believe streams of energy were flowing downward. I feel awful. It's like my strength is being drained away.
Watch out.
The increasingly violent currents strike our boat. The river's surface discards its serenity and transforms into a massive whirlpool. At that moment, I'm like a seed. I'm plunged into a darkness unknown to all. When I open my eyes again, I find myself coiled up in a warm embrace. Our capsized wooden boat somehow glides smoothly along the riverbed. Mist reminiscent of a veil accompanies us. I can hear the rapids and foam washing over sharp reefs, but I can't see the dangerous shallows. On the other side of the river, Cindersfell shores fade from view, and despite being underwater, I can feel the moist air. The current gradually calms. Our boat continues to move along the dark underwater passage for a time, before finally hitting a shallow bank. Xavier steps onto the shore first, then he turns and helps me stand.
Careful now. If you fall in, you won't be able to float back up.
Despite the fact that the water here barely reaches my ankles. The cave before us seems endless. Strange tiny particles of light float in the air. Warm and bright, they feel oddly familiar. I can almost believe this energy was once part of me. A profound realization washes over me. Perhaps this is the sacred path of pilgrimage, the road that returns to Philos. The archives at the Order of Babel's monastery had records of certain Philosian legend. It spoke of a mysterious cave that was connected to the center of the planet. Could this be the cave that connects Philos and Cindersfell?
You have quite the imagination.
The sound of flowing water gradually fades behind us as we venture deeper. The further we go, the more scenery unfolds before us. Look at these light particles, they keep increasing in number and brightness. Perchance the pilgrims who disappeared found themselves in this place. As the words leave my lips, an enormous, monstrous skeleton appears. Bodies lie on the shore. They're still frozen in the position they were in for their final moments. These monsters.
They're wanderers.
Oh no!
These creatures once roamed Philos before it was destroyed.
The gleam of a blade flashes and the bone white remains dissolve into energy particles before dissipating.
They were devoured by those monsters before they could escape.
You know something, yet you're unwilling to share it. He remains silent before turning away. His cloak billows out behind him.
If we could actually return to Philos, what will you do? Aside from finding your name.
I haven't thought about it yet. Is there anything you'd like me to do for you? Should I meet with someone on your behalf?
No.
The path splits in two, and for some reason I can sense the energy emanating from deep within the cave. I take his hand and keep walking. We need to discuss a certain matter. When I return to Philos and rebuild it, I promise to fairly evaluate your merits and shortcomings. I'll start with revising the historical texts. The historians abandoned their duties and wrote pure fantasies.
And then?
Oh, what do I say? I'll traverse the starry sea or I'll ascend the throne, I don't know. I guess this one. I'll traverse the starry sea and visit every place the travelling bards sing of in their songs. I'll be like these specks of light. They emit a faint glow, yet they can drift to distant places.
That sounds wonderful.
The worst happens. As in, I can't find anyone who remembers me and I'm unable to stay in Philos. Staying with you would be nice. I keep those words to myself as I look at him.
It's all right. The starry cosmos has many places you could visit. Take, for example, a beautiful little planet.
I hear strange clicking beneath our feet. We look down at the same time. There's a deathly pale wrist encased in crystals. Akin to veins, dark red vines are wrapped around a rib cage. The delicate roots of eerie flowers penetrate hollow eye sockets. That's...
Look over there.
Look over there! In the distance, a twisted tree looms. It isn't a real tree, but one formed by countless crystallized skeletons. They're stacked and entangled with one another. Their twisted forms are similar, for they step on those beneath them in a futile attempt to reach for something on high. Thin vines ensnare the crystallized remains. Together they form a thick trunk-like structure that's deeply embedded in the planet. That's... 1,000 horrified thoughts flood my mind. This is the tree of life. It's a tree made from corpses. I've never seen these people before, yet I recognize their clothing as garments that belong to Philos. Each and every one of their expressions are filled with despair and terror. They're like souls in the depths of hell who are seeking salvation. I have a problem with that statement because skeletons don't have expressions. Just saying. Were these Philosians trapped here? Why?
Philos is an artificial planet.
He suddenly speaks.
Their pretense of eternity depends on an energy source called a protocore.
Protocore? Familiarity washes over me once again, and for some reason a sadness surfaces.
The planet found itself on the verge of collapse after its energy was depleted. However, the most scholarly elder in the royal capital had a solution. The royal family discovered an uninhabited area with a chaotic protofield in Starfall Forest. It was located in the southern region of the planet. Deep within that forest is a cave. It leads directly to the heart of the planet. So long as humans were thrown into that cave, the planet's energy would never be depleted.
Ooh, harsh.
Like the people who thought this system was justified, the planet possessed an insatiable greed.
He looks at those crystals, and that can no longer be called human.
They're the victims who were used as fuel.
Did anyone escape and live to tell the tale? I look at Xavier, but I already know the answer in my heart.
No.
He starts walking again, moving past the tree as he continues forward.
Those who defied orders and went to investigate disappeared after entering the cave.
The number of sacrifices required inevitably increased. No one would willingly sacrifice themselves for the planet unless there was good reason.
Thus, the royal family came up with a plan to cover up their crimes. They no longer kept the sacrifices secret. They used honor to disguise it and called it a pilgrimage. To maintain a false eternity, they needed to weave lies one after another. Every member of the royal family had to bear the burden of perpetuating these lies.
You were the one who ended it? He shakes his head.
Ironically, the one who did that wasn't even remembered.
Although our surroundings are quiet, I can almost hear everyone's desperate cries for help as they face death.
Now you know the truth. Do you still consider Philos your homeland?
The chosen one, my lady!
My footsteps falter, and I look down and I'm greeted by eyes filled with absolute terror. That outfit, he's a pilgrim from that day. Tiny crystals, seemingly alive, spread from the youth's palm.
The pilgrimage is a lie. It will never lead us to Philos, or a source of nourishment for the cinders. The waters, they grow without end. Only then will it reveal the true path. You are the last one it needs, my lady. You can lead us back to Philos, yes, my lady?
He kneels before us and presses his forehead to the ground.
Why won't you save us? You traitor!
Watch out!
Xavier wraps his arm around my waist and pulls me back. His sword draws a black and golden arc. It rushes forward and slices the figure's waist. The pilgrim who transformed into a wanderer falls to his knees. He prostrates toward the tree as if he's worshipping it. The crisis had passed and the lie behind the pilgrimage was exposed. Yet I know that we can never return to Philos. After we return, we seemingly have an unspoken agreement to not discuss our path of pilgrimage. All these memories of Philos are nothing more than obsessions about past illusions. Was I one of those sacrifices? And if I was necessary, then no one remembered me. Yet after learning all this, I surprisingly find myself at ease.
Have you thought about your plans for the future? Assuming you can't return to Philos.
I'll stay here for now. Tomorrow's problems can wait until tomorrow. At least I'm free at the moment. A small boat sways gently on the river's surface. For some reason, tonight's moonlight seems especially bright.
Here.
He grabs my wrist and places a small object in my hand. Is this a gift?
Yes. It's a special protocore. A trinket from Philos. It may be a fragment, but you'll find a use for it.
Are you sure it's not a small stone or pebble? Ah, you're just trying to make me feel better.
You can see it like that if you like.
Alright, the shiny pebble is mine now. Although I want his flowers more, this is the first gift he's given me. I've decided to accept the rock after mulling over it. I lie down on the bottom of the boat and recall a similar tranquility that had accompanied us for our first boat ride. Back then, I accidentally touched his reflection and saw his past. I tried again at a later date, but I failed. An impulse to try again takes hold of me. The moonrise's light pierces the slender tree trunks and illuminates his reflection on the water's surface. When he isn't looking, I touch his reflection on the river. This time, I saw him standing with his back to me, surrounded by an endless sea of flowers. As darkness gradually covers the land and stars fill the sky, he places a cluster of light blue flowers before a tombstone.
This is a beautiful place, and I've always wanted to bring you here. But I never had the chance. I couldn't find you, and I didn't know if you'd like the scenery here. I'm sorry.
His voice softens as his fingers slowly trace over the engraved text on the tombstone. The first queen of Philos, her name shines quietly like the stars. Everlasting, it shall never fade. Aww. The name I've long forgotten comes flooding back. The forgotten queen was me this entire time. I've seemingly grasped a crucial thread as forgotten memories begin to resurface. Xavier is the king who succeeded me after I disappeared. The truth is right before my eyes. This place isn't so different from Philos, or rather, places where humans exist are very similar to one another. But if I've been in the heart of the planet for years, then what did Xavier experience? Why is he even here? Little by little, I pieced together the truth from the forgotten tombstone scattered across Cindersfell. The story continues. While I was gone, my knight traversed the starry sea. My knight put on that dust-covered crown. My knight became their king. It's the most magnificent coronation ceremony in the history of Philos. His decisions and achievements sent echoes throughout the cosmos, and during the test of time they spread far and wide. The people gathered in the square, bathed in the sun's brilliant radiance. They danced to rhythm of drums and wind instruments until midnight. Only when the radiant moon hung high, its light making the city walls of the colour of bones, did he finally leave the courtyard. Still wearing white coronation robes, the king removed his crown. Akin to a god's merciful gaze, moonlight poured through the dome and washed over him. Did he sleep well? What happened in his dream?
I miss you so much.
Aww. After that, my knight picked up his sword. Monsters and rebels fell one after another to his blade. A new world order was established. Following centuries of war and chaos, Philos was ushered into a dreamy golden age. They adored and praised him. The ballads spoke of his wisdom and brilliance. All knights swore their loyalty to him. He was given the title Sentinel of the Stars. Yet in the end, they stormed his castle and held swords to his throat. Knowledge was lost and the world order crumbled and war raged endlessly. He sat on his throne as a prisoner. Alone he bore the weight of his crown. This was the downfall of Philos and the story of his life. Horseshoes shatter the monastery gates for the 14th time, yet the acolytes still panic.
What have you done to the river?
The bishop dismisses everyone and closes the door, his ashen face displaying anger.
You've discovered all our secrets. Royal blood flows through our veins. You, of all people, should understand that the planet will perish once we lose the protocore. The people of Philos will be unable to achieve eternity. Whether it's in the Philos of a bygone era or this city, the answer is still the same. The waters of the cinders and the planet's core can open the gateway to Philos, so long as they're nourished, of course. Whether it's these revenants or our queen, they're all.
Hasn't your tongue done enough lapping?
You want to kill me?
The guilty must atone for their sins.
The tip of a sword is pressed against the bishop's throat. He steps back and looks up to meet a cold, stern gaze.
Have we truly sinned? You dare to claim the kings of Philos were free of sin? Those moronic subjects were asleep. They were obedient, and they wouldn't scream a thing. But you woke them up and told them there were no deities to look up to and no roads forward. Don't you deserve death? Open your eyes. The chance to save Philos is within our grasp, and yet you want to destroy it again.
The planet can die. Let it all return to naught. A world that can only survive through sacrifice should have never existed in the first place.
You can't bear to see her die again. That queen you failed to protect. Her heart nourishes those poor revenants in the river, and it's our most precious sacrifice to the heart of the planet. If we throw her into the cinders before the last full moon, we can return to Philos once more. So many have already been sacrificed. She's been sacrificed once before. What's wrong with sacrificing her again?
Everything. She's paid her dues.
You were the crown prince of Philos. I'll let you be the king.
Your tired rhetoric never changes. This time, we'll find out if it's your call or mine.
The planet needs nourishment if it is to survive. Both you and her are suitable for that role. If you want her to live, you know the price you must pay.
Oh, so Xavier has to sacrifice himself. No. Moonlight bathes the forest in a silvery grey hue. Some windows in the distant city remain brightly lit. This is the first time he stopped to listen to the Revenant songs ever since this false world came into existence. If there is a God out there, please hear my wish. May my death not be meaningless. Should our prayers be answered, we willingly surrender our freedom to a false faith. Night falls and the revenant's hymns tremble with the rustling leaves. Moonlight appears dimmer compared to before. In the garden, the single wavy leaf sea lavender remains exposed under the moon. A lot of time has passed, yet the flower still hasn't bloomed.
Yes,
Is it because there's no light? He nods.
it needs to be somewhere with light.
Is your horse truly nameless? He thinks for a few seconds, and his voice is certain this time.
Shadowbind. I only thought of it now.
With a new name, Shadowbind tosses his head and neighs loudly. I try to stroke his mane. He nuzzles my palm this time.
After our first horseback ride, he disappeared because he was tired. Do you want him to take you on another ride along the riverside?
I accept his offer, and so we leave the castle. With moonlight as our guide, Shadowbind brings us down the mountain. The castle and mountains disappear behind us, wind races through our hair, and dry branches sweep past our ears. We ride past burial grounds and abandoned cities. Fireflies sparkle between blades of grass, and the frost-white mountain paths wind beneath us under the moon. Shackles, boundaries, cities, and fate itself are left behind in this rush of wind. We race into the night as it deepens and charge toward the boundless horizon. We pull Shadowbind's reins as the moon rises. We sit side by side in a field of flowers near the riverside. I tear blades of grass into pieces and drop them into the water one by one. Some sink and others are blown away by the wind. He notices I've entangled the ends of his hair around a flower's stem. He doesn't get angry. He slowly untangles it instead. A moment later, he plucks a blade of grass and tickles my cheek with it as if to punish me. Time passes. He takes my wrist and puts a small bracelet woven with lumen flora on it. It's tight. Are you afraid I'll get lost?
Yes.
The mountain wind is cold. The stream's water and moonlight spread out to create a silvery grey glow that rests on his shoulders. My eyes are half closed when I rest my head on his lap. It's so comfortable that I almost fall asleep. Who are you planning to give that flower to?
You.
Aww. I froze for a second. I hadn't told him my memories were coming back, but a thought started to form. Maybe Xavier had known who I was all along, but I didn't know why he kept it from me, or what he'd really been through after I left. The past was like those rusted swords hidden in the flowers, left behind and forgotten. I remember the sword he once wielded was reminiscent of moonlight, it's just like him. Do you know how to use a certain kind of sword, Xavier?
Why do you ask?
I grabbed 2 rusty swords from the grass and tossed one to him. It's nothing. I realize we haven't even sparred once. Using identical swords makes our duel fair.
All right.
First move, second move.
Your strikes are too slow.
Yet I still managed to block your attack. 10th move, 20th move. These techniques are all too familiar. He extends his fingers, slides his hand down along my blade and strikes my wrist. Tingling numbness shoots through my wrist and I almost drop my sword. You...
Stay focused when you spar.
21st, 25th.
Who taught you that?
He's distracted. His sword spins through the air after being knocked away. I press the advantage and rush forward. I ram my shoulder into him. Grass scatters and fireflies swirl into the chaotic spirals of light as he stumbles. Unexpectedly, he falls onto a flower bed. The tip of my sword pierces the soil near his face. The duel ends with me as the victor. I suppose the prophecy was correct, Xavier. I truly am destined to defeat you. A deal is a deal. The city is now under my control. Instead of struggling, he calmly tilts his head to the side and places his palm over my sword hand.
I remember you saying you'd stand by my side. If that's the case, then our swords should be pointing in the same direction.
True. Well...
You still haven't told me who taught you that move.
Dissatisfied with my evasive answer, he brings that up again. I don't know. If you've never seen it before, then I can only guess it's unrelated to you. He raises his hand and his fingertips almost touch the blade. He turns his wrist. Before I can react, he flips our position. Holding my wrist, he pins me down. Xavier, our duel already ended.
You didn't say we should stop, so it wasn't over yet.
Rude. Instead of backing away, he leans in and his nose almost brushes against my face.
I taught you that move.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. You said our swords should be pointing in the same direction.
I also said that soft-hearted individuals cannot become a ruler.
I should have gone all out.
Can I claim my prize now?
Sure. I push him away. I'm about to stand when a kiss suddenly lands on my forehead. Ah!
You'll hit me if I do that? I'll do it more often then. I won't fight back.
Cute. On the way back, he carried me on his back in silence, his figure seeming to hold up the entire night around us. He's willing to tell me stories about his past this time. So how wonderful was this forgotten queen?
Very.
Maybe you're the only one who thinks so.
Many of Philos's myths and stories exist because of her. She issued an order that forbade anyone from entering that man-eating forest. She offended the entire Council of Elders.
Cool. Sacrificing yourself is a simple matter. Bearing condemnation while walking into darkness is not. Perhaps the Mad King who's condemned by all is the person who can save Philos. Remembering the rumors I'd heard from those little revenants, I gently tapped him on the shoulder. A book said he refused every marriage proposal sent his way. Is that true?
What do you think?
Holding back a smile, I run my fingers through his hair. I mess it up before slowly combing my fingers through it to make it neat again. If this tree of life doesn't exist, will all of us be unable to return? I catch a glimpse of fleeting sadness in his eyes this time. If everything must fade away, then I wish I could stay in this moment forever. We return to my room after walking through the moonlit corridor. The firelight gradually dims, its last embers casting a gentle glow on his peaceful expression. He leans down and kisses my forehead once more.
Don't overthink it. Rest. You'll feel better soon enough. And when you open your eyes, you might realize this was all just a dream.
My eyelids feel heavy as lead. I'm sleepy, yet why isn't Xavier going to bed? He's never felt exhaustion before. Good night, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we'll see each other tomorrow.
Bitch, you better be there tomorrow, I swear to God.
I recognized you the moment I saw you. When you return to Philos and see I'm not there, will you be angry that I deceived you again? There's a spaceship docked at the northern edge of Starfall Forest. It should still be working. Coordinates have already been inputted into the navigation system. You can leave if you want. It'll take you to that beautiful little planet.
Why don't you come with then? Come with. When I wake up again, I feel the boat swaying beneath me. I'm alone. An elderly ferryman sits at the stern. There's a dull ache in my heart and my memories a blur. I don't know who I am or where I came from. I look around, the river cave, rocky shores, everything is unfamiliar to me. Where am I? Who are you? I look at the ferryman. I feel like I know him, but I can't remember who he is.
Once you cross the boundary between life and death, the rest of the journey is yours to walk alone.
For some reason, I'm clutching an oddly shaped fragment. It emits a faint glow and responds to the energy flowing from my heart. The boat enters a narrow cave passage. The sound of water droplets echoes and strikes my ears. Before long, the boat gently runs aground. It rests at the shore before a hazy halo of light. Everything is immersed in this soft, gentle radiance. Motionless, I stand where I am. I cannot suppress the feeling that behind the light lies an invisible force. It's drawing me in. The faint sound of the wind approaches from a distance, as if it's coming from the entrance to another world. Respond. My palm touches that light. A blinding radiance surges like the tide to engulf me. When I open my eyes again, I find myself in an unknown place. There is no sky above and no earth under me. The world floats in a sea of consciousness. The air is moist and seemingly flowing with life. I can almost believe I'm positioned at the end of a circular trolley system making its way back around. What is that? Countless fine veins of light extend from a main trunk, their rhythmic flow resembling the breathing of a large organism. It's a beautiful, enormous tree.
Go a little further ahead, and you can return to where everything began.
Who are you?
Our fates are similar, and yet they are different. I sensed your presence when you entered the heart of the planet.
The heart of the planet? I feel like I know that place very well.
You must be feeling very confused right now. Wherever there is light, the shadow must follow, and together they'll coexist. Likewise, Cindersfell is the shadow of Philos. It is also a failed possibility that continues to expand.
So Cindersfell is heading towards its destruction too? Why am I here then?
Just like how you saved Philos, you possess the power to save the city of Revenants.
Old memories wash over me. I sat on the throne and waited for a long, long time, but my knight never returned to me. They told me the only way to save this planet is for me to walk into the heart of the planet. But if I willingly became nourishment for Philos, then why do I feel pain and loneliness? Was I not prepared to be sacrificed? Was I waiting for someone to find me? This time I refuse to repeat the same mistake. I refuse to be Philos' salvation, and I refuse to be everyone's hope. The Chosen One is nothing more than a tool for selfish people who want to keep their immortality. Be it in Philos or in this city of remnants, it's all the same.
You are correct. Philos' destruction cannot be prevented. There was once a king. When he was still a knight, he reached the same conclusion. To truly save those trapped in eternity, one must return to the correct divergence point and create new possibilities. The current Cindersfell is but a false branch. It's a tributary destined to run dry.
Are you talking about going back in time? When is the correct divergence point? She lets out a soft sigh.
The two of you chose different methods to save the planet. Neither was right nor wrong. But salvation should never be achieved through sacrifice. The path of backtracking is dangerous. Success is far from guaranteed.
I remember him bidding me farewell in the empty palace. His lonely figure walked away from the royal court. From that moment, the two of us and the planet we inhabited created different tributaries of fate. So when she didn't call after him when he proposed to her in a roundabout way in front of everyone.
The ether core within you shares the same origin as this planet. Its power is from the depths of the cosmos. The protocore will mend the fractures in this world and allow that eternal city to become a reality. Before its power is depleted, it can grant you one last choice. You can return to the divergence point he created, or remain in this false Philos. Everything is in your hands this time. However, I must warn you, if you choose to return to the past, this world will immediately collapse. Philos' fate might find a new hope, or it will march toward irreversible destruction once more. Even you shall become an unknown variable. Have you decided?
But yeah, I'm going back in time. There ain't no other choice. I want to go back. In the boundless passage of time, eternity is nothing but stagnation, and existing in such a state is meaningless. More importantly, Xavier shouldn't be trapped in that darkness. The light fades and I feel my body becoming solid again as I return to the entrance of the cave. I come to my senses and look at my hand. They're gradually becoming transparent. Does that mean this world is collapsing? The ferryman waits silently at the cave entrance. Only when he sees me emerge does he smile.
Go. You've made your decision, and I'm certain it's the best one.
He's a teacher.
My dear child, I have always been proud of you, and you've been through so much. As your teacher, I owe you an apology.
I stare at the old man's familiar face, yet I can't remember who he is. He says nothing else. He hugs me before giving his all. Wait! He doesn't stop, nor does he look back as he walks into the river. The waters lap the shore and wash away his last footprints. The small boat rocks back and forth as it sails along the inky black river. Acting as my guide, the glowing orb of light that was hanging from the bow vanishes once the boat docks. Shadowbind anxiously paces back and forth along the riverside. He calls out to me when he spots me. Are you going to take me to him? Shadowbind stomps his hooves before galloping off with me on his back. We're heading to Cindersfell. In these final moments, I must be by his side. No matter what happens, we'll stand together. Wind sweeps across the wasteland. The sky is drenched in a blood-red light. In the distance, battle standards lie in the mud. Revenant knights stagger between mountains of corpses. No one knows when the horns of war sounded. On this night, soaked in unnaturally bright moonlight, the revenants are reminded of the great battle that destroyed Philos. The king who destroyed Philos is the sinner who destroyed eternity.
You decided to face me alone. Shall we make a bet? Let's see if these people you're trying to save, in spite of your tainted reputation, believe in you or me. Oh, survivors of Philos, your former king has rendered your sacrifices meaningless!
Hordes of revenants walk. They drag their stumbling feet as they approach the city walls step by step. Broken arrows and spears lie scattered on the ground. Meanwhile, he's encircled by thousands of revenants. Countless spears are thrust toward him. Countless blades slash him. The revenants have been consumed by their hatred and despair for too long. They need a living sacrifice to pay the debt they owe to the dead. Yet Cinder's Fell was never meant to exist. It doesn't belong to the living or dead. The light blade that once protected the kingdom has transformed into a dark blade that slays the dead. Before its collapse, he entrusted the protocol to me along with Philos' last chance of survival. From that moment, I was the only person who could access the divergence point and return to Philos. Yet he would remain trapped within this madness in eternity's embrace until the apocalypse arrives. A massive sword roars as it slashes and cuts. It impales one revenant soldier after another as they lunge toward him. However, the revenants slowly realize the blade that once struck fear into them can no longer reduce them to ashes. The silence lasts for a moment, then they erupt into a frenzy. That sword is no longer the arbiter of death. They cannot be destroyed, there's no need to be afraid. They celebrate, they howl. They surge like a wave toward the lone figure who still stands with a sword. Xavier turns his head, his gaze passing the flames and smoke of battle. When we make eye contact, surprise appears on his face.
How did you...
Why did you think I'd go somewhere without you? I spur shadow bind through the revenant horde. Without any hesitation, I charge toward him. As our paths intersect, I lean down and grasp his wrist. I pull him up behind me in one smooth motion. I'm holding his hand this time. As our powers resonate, the light swiftly coalesces and forms into a blade. Streams of light wind along the back of the blade, power surges and boils between our palms. Before the revenants can lunge toward us, I grab his hand. Together we raise the sword once more. The two swords of the stars were always meant to point in the same direction.
Now you two remember. You can die together.
Ooh.
Philos doesn't need traitors. May you have an audience with eternity.
The great sword delivers a mighty slash. The wind howls and the very fabric of reality shifts. Amidst violent tremors, a rift splits open the sky. Countless golden rays rain down and slice the dark clouds like sharpened blades. Philos' apocalypse shall descend at long last.
The light! It's the light!
It's the sun!
We've returned to Philos, our salvation!
The sunlight is akin to a torrential downpour after a long drought. Delirious with joy, the revenants raise their heads and race towards a small hill formed by the piles of armor. They're desperate to be the first one to touch the light. Yet it's so dazzling and brilliant that it's impossible to look at it. The revenants are forced to close their eyes. The black armor covering their bodies start to crack. It happens once, but then there's another crack, and a third crack appears. Crystals rapidly spread across the skin that's touched by light. They reach their shoulders, chests, and arms.
It burns! Monster! I've become a monster!
No! This is a wanderer!
Is this the price they have to pay? Their faith that's forged from lies, a pilgrimage built upon flesh and blood. All of it leads to an even more absurd death. The overwhelming flood of light knocks them down and breaks them. In the distance, atop a pile of armor, a lone figure remains. He sways as if he's about to fall, yet he struggles to stay upright.
The eternity of Philos! It cannot! It cannot!
That body, which channeled the power of countless revenants, is like an arrow at the end of its flight. However, it stubbornly maintains this massive spectral form. In his despair, he turns only to see a light blade tear through the heavens. It rushes towards him with an overwhelming force. Light blades devour heaven and earth. Time seems to freeze in this moment. Then there is silence. Shadowbind, who is beneath me, vanishes. As I'm about to fall onto sharp spears below, a hand grabs me. Xavier! The radiance of the sun and the moon emanates from his body, yet the heavy blade in his hand can no longer be lifted. The world falls into silence, only he and I remain. He kneels beside me, he silently looks at me. He opens his mouth as if he's trying to speak, but he can't utter a single word. I realize it's the first time he said my name since I arrived in this world.
It's been a long time.
He wipes away the tears from the corner of my eye. Yet more replace them at a quickening rate. I don't understand how he can laugh while saying these words. The most important person in my life left me for a faraway place. I thought he would never return. The days we spent apart grew longer than the days we stood side by side.
Was this your choice?
I shake my head, then I nod. He doesn't actually know my decision.
Good. The choice you made must be the best one.
Lumen flora petals mingle with ashes and float onto the sky dyed by twilight. Our story is coming to an end. Aww.
You said my shoulder was cold and a hard pillow, and yet you slept for so long. Do you like this one?
Ooh. I do like it, but... Oh god.
You have a unique way of showing affection.
I'm just testing how it feels in the moment. Oh god.
Nimble and light when you hold it. It's perfect for your skill level. It managed to strike the crown, has good durability, and is good as a sword.
Sword is well made, but the storm is past.
We don't need it. Looks like you've been enchanted. You miss it already?
Of course not.
My hand would look weird if it's not holding a sword. But now, you gave me the best answer.
Aww. Looks like a little
The
bird's
sunlight
tail.
and flowers are too peaceful. We could use a lively friend.
Only we have one bird. Maybe another one. Oh, cute, matching.
Once they're used to caring for each other, they'll never be apart.
Aww. Oh no. The face is so cold.
The sun is coming out. We won't be cold for much longer. We'll always be together.
Oh no.
Zay, why do the knights always say, "May Philos prosper under eternity's divine gaze"? Is it because we have very, very long lives?
In Philos' oldest historical records, eternity doesn't refer to one's lifespan, but rather the stories of humanity. These tales are told by both the living and the dead. The living gather the embers left by those who have passed away. The footsteps of the dead echo in the dust. Their stories shall be recited by poets and told by travelers around a campfire. When their names are spoken once more, only then will their unfulfilled ambitions, unexpressed love, and unsolved mysteries transform into stories that are passed down for generations. And to endure the test of time can be seen as a divine miracle. Eternity has always been about stories that can immortalize humanity's joys and sorrows.
As soon as I let go of his hand, the world is released from some kind of constraint. Everything begins to move backward. My consciousness is plunged once more into that familiar darkness. But a beam of warm light gently lifts my body. In the rapidly flowing river of time, I witness many miracles I've never seen before. A tree learns to stand again from the scorched earth. A bird breaks free from the mud and takes flight. All the wilted flowers with faded colors return to the hands of the knights rushing to meet their beloveds. Tiny life regrows in the magnificent tapestry of fate. Time radiates outward with countless pathways leading back to the past, until everything slows down once more. And the very last moment, I hear a gentle voice speak.
Thank you for choosing him.
Move forward. Royal Capital Lawn, spring. Outside the castle, the sky is clear and the air is crisp. Surrounding landscape sits in silence. The skylark's song drifts down from above. This day is no different from yesterday, just like countless other days that have slipped away in Philos. A small boy kneels amongst the wildflowers. He struggles to lift a sword that's taller than himself.
You had a selection of weapons presented before you. Why did you choose the sword?
It suits me.
His boys. Philos' royal family has always upheld the tradition of honing marital prowess. Throughout all his training, he showed a strong aptitude for swordsmanship. It's as if he was born with those nimble, graceful techniques already ingrained in his heart. In less than a month, he surpassed the older students who were training for a year.
They say that once a knight takes the sword, they must shoulder the responsibility of protecting Philos.
She slightly bends down and looks into the child's somewhat bewildered eyes. She smiles while stroking his wind-tousled hair.
Is that the kind of person you want to be?
He follows his mother's gaze towards the corridor. It's lined with shining golden portraits of past Philosian kings.
Should I?
Predetermined answers aren't what makes us human. It's about embarking on a journey to find answers, even when you already know them. Even I don't know what kind of person you should become.
Where can I find that answer?
She holds his hand for a moment. Then she lets go and leans down to straighten his wind-ruffled collar.
Go to the paths you've walked, the people you've met, and the very depths of your heart. The farther you travel on your journey, the closer you are to that answer.
The young boy nods. He sort of understands.
When that time comes, will I know why I'm supposed to wield a sword?
Yes. However, a sword is still a weapon. It can and will harm others. Knights wield swords for their king, and kings wield swords for their country. You shall have peace in your heart only when you wield your sword for the choices you've made of your own free will.
Not sure I understand that part. Royal capital outskirts, summer.
A field trip to a nearby star system? Who came up with that excuse?
He did.
I did.
All of us did.
I don't sense a hint of remorse from any of you. Face the wall and reflect on your actions. Xavier, come here.
Yes, sir.
Was Traceback 1 your idea?
Yes.
The backtrackers and the secret base under the library were also your doing.
Yes.
I must have committed terrible sins in my past life. How else could I have ended up teaching self-righteous fools like you?
Wanderers have gnawed this planet inside out. Why are you pretending you can't see it?
It's not your turn yet. Shut your mouth.
Stubborn old fool.
A kingdom will not capitulate to anyone, not even its crown prince. You will be abandoned by the royal family the moment you turn your back on them. Have you truly thought this through?
I know what I need to do.
I guess Xavier thinks he's some kind of savior. You're only making these grand statements because you were born with wealth.
This has nothing to do with you. You're jealous he's the crown prince while you're nothing but a forgotten hooligan from a branch Oh, I see. Is it because you lost to him today?
Matters involving the royal family do not concern you, peasant. You have no right to criticize us.
You...
All of you are so... Can you put the arguments aside for once? Or am I the only one who actually wants to embark on this voyage?
Nearby, their friend looks down with a smile and records the umpteenth quarrel among them. among the backtrackers in a knight's handbook. Even when they first settled on this name, they were almost ready to brawl because they thought it wasn't catchy enough. Xavier looks into the distance. His thoughts drift to the spaces between the leaves where a small bird is singing high above the branches. He feels as if the river of time that endlessly flows has come to a standstill. The chirping birds, the drifting clouds, and the wind gently rustling the treetops seemingly freeze. He turns around and gazes at the green fields at the foot of distant mountains. For some unknown reason, he thinks he hears someone calling his name. Yet under the dappled light shifting through the leaves, there is only one fruit that has fallen.
That brat hits too hard. Oh, I almost forgot. I won't tell her about the backtracking, don't worry.
What happens between us doesn't involve you.
You! This is what I get for trying to be nice.
Silvercord Autumn.
It's time to go. While I was resting in Silvercord, I heard them singing stories about you. You always worry that you aren't doing enough. But you're a good queen. You always will be.
Velos, outer space, east.
Traceback 2 is preparing for launch. We'll be traveling to a universe that remains unknown to us.
Stars sweep past the window one by one. During a long voyage, most interstellar travelers choose to enter sleep-in pods. Only one does not. Although there are countless moments of lightning streaking across stardust, he sits alone in the cockpit. His thoughts are indiscernible. When a passing beautiful A-star cluster, he doesn't look back. When passing a star that's about to be born, he doesn't look back. When passing the floating, faintly glowing dust in the cosmos, he still doesn't look back. The spacecraft finally passes through the long, seemingly endless deep space tunnel that's akin to the river that flows forever. It carries him to an unknown destination. But in the universe where time still has an end, he must have gone to where I am. Is that it? Oh, okay. So now what? So then, shooting stars. When this wavy leaf sea lavender blooms, the traveler will return home. Okay, so let's save that for next time. Holy heck, that was a long series. But yeah, this will be the next one, I'm pretty sure. Wow. What a day.